let's get into this video here. There's another video that came out here, which is a lot of interesting shit going on, because now people are thinking like, okay, where's the how are they going to be able to drag America into this situation here? Obviously from previous situations we saw that the Iraq Afghanistan war, there was a pretext of there was an attack on America via 9/11, and it was blamed on Islamic extremism and this and that. So now we're getting neocon CIA director, former CIA director Mike Pompeo, who's a major neocon, guys. This guy's he's been advocating for war with Iran for years. They've been trying to get this war popping for 40 plus years, guys. So you got to think that these people are salivating at the mouth, guys. These are the same individuals 40 years ago trying to advocate for this war to happen, because Iran was like the last stronghold that's not allowing Israel to pretty much expand and control the entire Middle East, right? Because everybody else is a dud, like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, all these other countries are pretty much cucked, right? So they don't represent a military or strategic threat to Iran at all. So Iran was like that last line of defense against like Israeli imperialism, but now, so a lot of these neocons and these Christian Zionists were salivating at the mouth when Israel decided to make that strike happen, and so now everybody's in a pickle because they're trying to figure out how they're going to get America dragged into this situation, right? So listen to what Pompeo says on CNN. So he says, warns of a major incident could occur somewhere in the world, suggests Iran may be behind it. He claims Iran has terrorist cells in nearly every country, including the U.S., and says they could soon be activated to launch cyber attacks and other strikes. Pompeo urges strong support for Israel, calling it essential to stopping what he sees as a global threat. Let's get into this video.
Careful who you are around in terms of large events, Jewish events. I mean, this sounds like we've gone backwards decades in terms of the threat on Jewish lives. But that's exactly what this is also about.
Harris, I actually think it's just the converse of that. I do agree this could be a very high tension, stressful, and indeed there may be an event somewhere in the world. It's not just the missiles or drones they'll fly to Israel, but the Iranian IRGC, the very leadership the Israelis destroyed last night, has been working in nearly every country around the world, including the United States of America, to plant little terror cells all across the world. Hezbollah was doing the same. So this will be a very difficult period. But in the end, this was not a reckless attack, but indeed what they did was decent and just and righteous, and will reduce risk to the Jewish diaspora around the world. And for Israel and for the United States of America, a really good set of outcomes are in the offing, so long as Israel is prepared to finish the task, and as long as the world unites to provide continued deterrence and defense to prevent Iran from conducting all kinds of attacks. I think of cyber threats that will probably be projected around the world too. Iranians have a great cyber program. So lots of vectors for them to respond. We all need to be alert and responsive and do everything we can to deter them from coming after any American anywhere in any field.
This clown saying that, there might be some strange event that occurs somewhere in the world that will, that'll be totally blamed on Iran. The CIA and Mossad have nothing to do with it. That's going to cause us to drag us into a war with Iran. And that's what they're planning on doing, guys. And there's so many sensitive areas in the Middle East, right? There's obviously the U.S. bases that have literally like no, they're pretty much naked, guys. From a lot of war analysts have come out, strategic war analysts have said, like, the strikes, they're indefensible. If Iran wants to strike those U.S. bases like Al-Udeid in Iraq and Qatar and all these places, they're indefensible. Right, that could and it could cause mass casualties. Remember, the last time they did that was when Trump killed Soleimani in Iran, right? And then they went and attacked one of the U.S. bases, and there was something about like there was at least 200 casualties that were underreported or censored, and Trump went out and said, "Oh well, no, they just had brain damage. Nothing happened. It was just brain damage," which everybody's like. 200 people with brain damage, so a lot of these bases around the U.S., very sensitive areas. Also, Israeli embassies all over the world, right? There was an attack back in the 80s, I believe, in Argentina, one of the Israeli embassies in Argentina, where over 200 people died, right? And also domestically here, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of sensitive areas where certain things could happen that could quickly escalate this war to where the U.S. has to be directly involved. And then tomorrow we have Trump with his, he's doing, looks like he's doing some type of parade or something like that, military parade for his birthday. And I mean, those, things like that, it's just, you got to think, man, like, what do these people have up their sleeves? Because they have to find a reason. These people are sick, like criminals, they've been trying to have this war for 40 plus years, guys.